All right, so today, guys, we're doing a video on the Cayman. We got it up on the lift, like the license plate. I know it's backwards. It's always that way in the camera. So we're going over mods. What all have I done this Cayman? I have not posted hardly any videos in this car since I bought it. We have been doing mods to it, and it's getting pretty good. I'll show you what we all done. It's fairly, I'm not gonna say extensive. It's quite a lot of stuff. We're gonna tell you what each thing does, how much power it makes, and should you do these things, and also what else it needs. All right, so these cars, let me zoom out here a little bit. Oh, that's it. All right, so these cars are notoriously known for having restrictive exhaust. If you guys remember our Red Cayman, we did a lot of stuff to it too. And what we've done on this one so far is only catback stuff and not any actual header work. But I'm thinking that may be in the very near future. So this had a Top Gear, I'll back up a little bit just to start out. This had a Top Gear eBay exhaust system on it. And it kind of had this exhaust leaky kind of sound to it. Like you let out the gas and it would like make like a leak, exhaust leak kind of noise at low RPM. And this wasn't very loud. It was very restrictive. You could tell that right away. So we started out by cutting off the mufflers to the Top Gear system. This car has header wrap on this part of it, as you can see right here. So we put our Borla Sportsman mufflers on it. These are a little shorter than what the red car had on it, a little bit louder. And we had the factory Top Gear X pipe. If I find a picture on my phone, I'll stick it in there for you. I'm pretty sure I got one of those. And then we were running like that for a little while. We put the acropopic tips on it, just like so. You can see there. It works out pretty good. The tips don't look too bad, all right? And it just seemed like it just kept having this weird noise. I remember from doing the Red Cayman that the X pipe seems like it always causes this weird back air rushing noise and let off the gas at low RPM. And so we end up going to the exhaust shop. My friend Howard cut off the X pipe and just welded in and separated the pipes. Now, what this actually did, whenever you rev the car, instead of having that exhaust leaky noise, it actually clears that up and just kind of revs real fast, like almost like a pop kind of noise real quick. And that's what I was looking for. I have been noticing though, driving in between buildings, going slow, I still hear a little bit of exhaust leak. And we're looking and we're like, man, you know, nothing's leaking on this thing. Everything just been welded up. Everything looks really good. I mean, it's an exhaust shop, so you know your weld's gonna look like that. You're gonna have some of that using a MIG welder instead of a TIG welder, right? And kind of have a little bit of fun building our own exhaust systems for these cars. And we hit the nail on the head on the red car, but the red car had headers. And I thought, well, what's leaking on this thing? What still sounds really bad? And then I remembered, every time you put an aftermarket exhaust in this thing, these collector bolts, collector gaskets up here tend to leak. Why they tend to leak, Nathan? Well, I'll tell you why, boys. See that gasket up in there? It's just like a 2-ply, real thin 2-ply metal gasket. That is not good enough to seal where this flange to where the aftermarket exhaust goes on. And I remember now on my red car, I actually had to get the other gasket material. And to get the red car to seal, oh, you can see, it still has the imprint of the gasket. This is actually exhaust gasket material that will not burn. And I actually had to use 2 of these per side to get a thick enough sandwich to seal that flange. So we'll be doing that on this. Is that making the car run strange? I don't think it's making it run strange, but it definitely makes it sound a little bit weird under a very light acceleration, right? And so we're gonna do that. And like I said, before we had the race headers on the Red Cayman with no converter. These don't have converters in them anymore, but look at the flow. How jagged the flow, like what in the hell? What in the hell, right? Look how that goes together. That's not gonna flow very good. The drawback of these cars are a eBay set of headers. A eBay catless set of headers are about $500 to $700, and those will do fine. Give you a little bit more power, a little more open exhaust, a little better sound. To buy a catted set of aftermarket headers, they start at $1,500 to $1,700 and go up to about $4,000. Is there any difference from running like Soul Performance headers to eBay headers? Man, this isn't really the kind of engine that's going to make a lot of difference. I'll be totally honest with you, it just won't. Once you get rid of the factory manifold converters in this thing, this car makes way more power. I mean, way more power. And on this car, we also did the BNC air filter. As you guys know, BMC makes a lot of stuff for Porsche and exotic cars. And we put just the pop-in air filter on this car, right? That was a pretty big gain. But let me tell you a few things about that. So there's a little port up here, and I popped the little lid out so it could actually suck air from this outside vent correctly. That did make a difference. All the little bits add up to quite a bit of difference. I'll tell you something about the BNC, about any air filter in this car. It does get a lot of dirt coming in through the side vent whenever you take that little pop out. So about every 1,000 miles, maybe a little less, I'll take the engine tray, pop the hatch, take the engine tray off, and take the air filter out and put it in my kitchen sink and spray it out. Really give it some Dawn and some water, some hot water. And you can tell as it gets, I don't know, several hundred miles on it, you haven't cleaned it, you start to see a decrease in power. It's a pretty sensitive engine when it comes to actually air demand. It needs a lot of quick, clean air to really make this thing run good. And another thing we've done in this car, I live pretty close to an E85 station. We talked about this many times before with you guys, and there was a lot of naysayers in the comments. Let me tell you something, all right? This car will run full E85, no problem at all. Zero problem. If you could also run a half and half mix, right? Let me break the math down for you. Super unleaded right now is what, $4.25 a gallon? E85 is $1.89 or $2.89. It was $2.89. So that's a huge difference. The issue we had with E85 in the past was the simple fact that depends on where you get it at, it is not very high quality or it's attracted moisture in it. And we actually have two stations pretty close to us. One station, the 85 is always garbage. The next station is actually been really good. Obviously, the second station that has better is further away, but that's just the way it is, right? You know, 85 does not get used a lot against contrary belief. It just don't. I don't know why it doesn't. If it's above 50 degrees outside, above 40 degrees, you can run E85 every day without any problem. We have not noticed, we run that in so many cars. We have not noticed any fuel injector issues. We have not noticed any fuel pump issues with E85 at all, like at all. And a lot of guys, you know, one thing we do have an issue with, if you let the car sit for months and months or a year with E85 in it, it is going to be a worse quality fuel at the end of that set time than regular unleaded or super unleaded gasoline will be, just the kind of fuel it is. So it's not something you want to put in your lawnmower and let it sit all winter, because it's going to be all nasty in there and it's probably not going to run right until you drain it out. The E85 has been a godsend for the Cayman because the power gains are tremendous on it. And if you don't believe me, do it. Go mix a half a tank, run yours down to half a tank, top it off with the 85, and you're going to be like, damn, son, that's some freaking power difference right there. That's a huge power difference. Obviously, we got mods in this car, but you can run that on a factory car without a problem. You can also get E85 tune. You get a little more power out of it like that. E85 tune will decimate your fuel mileage a little worse. So it depends on what you want. But there is no lean anything. We've had the spark plugs in and out of this one. The red came in. We run E85 on my Toyota Sequoia, on that green Scion I had. BMWs and Mercedes don't like E85. I don't know what the deal is, but just don't. The worst we ever had was having to reset a lean code at cold start. And, you know, if you have a easy scanner hookup or a little thing goes to your phone, you can click the reset whenever it does it, and that's it. And, you know, if you have bad 85, it's going to pop around. It's going to cause all kinds of misfires as you would think it would, even with bad fuel. It's the same difference. As letting this thing down, we're also going to talk about a few other things. This car is the PSM, which is adjustable struts, and that is a great option. The only issue is they are ridiculously expensive. They're about $549 per strut for factory ones. Obviously on Porsche stuff, we want to do that. The control arms and coffin arms, this car has had, the best I can tell, the fronts are already been done on this by the date codes. We did put it came with a passenger coffin arm in the car that was brand new. I don't know why that is, but maybe it didn't. No, I ordered that. But everything on the driver's side was new. Some of the stuff on the passenger side was new, so I did replace the lower coffin arm, and now everything's tight. We did notice too that somebody has aftermarket sway bar links on it, so I just ordered OEM sway bar links and bushings because there's a little clicking on the front now. I've been driving it quite a while. And something else we did to this car was put all new factory Brembo brakes and pads in all four corners. It wasn't that much. It was about $500, I remember right, $550. But that is a huge deal, this car. I know it's dirty. I've been driving it. There's a huge difference to this car, and you cannot beat the factory Brembo parts. I mean, you come down from any speed, there's never a problem. There's never a shudder, never an issue. That was the best decision I ever did. This has these Michelin, what are these? Let me look here. Pilot Sport All Seasons. And actually, they do really good on this car. This isn't a huge power car. Just from the math people say about this car, it's about 360 at this point. E85, really open exhaust, air intake, stuff like that. You know, that's about the guesstimate online. Maybe it's 340, maybe it's 370, who knows? It's a lot at that rate. However, when you're picking out a muffler, if you decide to do your own exhaust or have a shop do your own exhaust, your own custom system, there's a few things you do want to make sure. You have a very open muffler. These borellas, you can just look right through it, and you can decide how big a borellas you want, dictating on how loud the car is. They have ones that are way louder than this, but I want it to still have a nice crisp sound. Now, all the mods in this car, performance mods, the exhaust, the air filter, as far as performance, that's really about it. I think popping the lid out of the side vent, we're probably in this $500-ish. The air filter is expensive for the BNC, but everybody says it fits better. It's like $100 and so for that. We probably have $100 per muffler in this thing, $50 for the tips. The exhaust shop that we probably got, there's probably close to $500 in performance mods in this car. And with the brakes are $1,000 total in it. But man, what a huge difference. So if you guys are wanting to mod your Cayman, don't just go to eBay and buy an eBay cheap ass exhaust system. When we dissected that system, there were one of the mufflers welded on backwards, and it had a big lip. It was hanging up. Exhaust gases coming through. The X pipe was garbage. It had a bunch of really sharp points in it to where exhaust was hitting that. So we just cut all that garbage off and remade everything. Will we change over to a full system, exhaust system in this car eventually? Maybe, but I think we'll do those collector gaskets and we should be good to go. This car does everything I need it to do. We're recently thinking about buying a 997, 997.2 turbo. We still may do that. It seems like a wrangling one for a decent price. It's not a convertible. Definitely want to coupon that. But this very time, this snapshot in time is not the right time to do that. YouTube's kind of weird right now. We don't know what's going to happen. Revenue's upside down on it. Everybody's looking for something else. So until we clear this up and figure this out, Nathan's not going to buy a $100,000 car just this minute. But that may be coming up pretty soon. And yeah, so if you like the Cayman content, let me know. We have a bunch of new videos in this car we can make. We'll probably end up doing the shifter cable in updates for the metal shifter cables. We'll do the following about the wing button. We'll come back with that very soon. If I should just start recording this stuff, let me know. I don't know what you guys want to see. We also been posting Nathan's BMW Workshop on TikTok. I've been doing a lot of TikTok stuff lately. If I think about it, I'll put the link in the description of this if you want to go see that and keep up with what I'm doing. But that's going to be it, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again very soon with another video. Have a good day.